Are you fighting a government that is working? Because see, the government is working. Everyone can see. You pay your money, the government works for you. It takes your money, it puts it into better use, and then now what you have to do is wait so that you can see the fruits of this labor.
All right.
Sasa juzi, they have decided.
All right,
because
Mercy. Hold on there.
I don't want a job. I do not
Hold
want
on,
a
hold
job.
on
The
there,
thing
Mercy.
that ilileta all of this is I was supposed to go to school. So why do you want to give me a job when ningekuwa nimeenda kusoma? Now they have seen they cannot get to me, so they start using proxies. You start talking to my family and start telling them, kwani huyu mtoto ameulizia appointment akanyimwa, ameulizia dialogue akanyimwa, ameapproach nani akakataa kumpea kazi, huyu mtoto anataka kuenda kufanya kazi wapi? Mbona tumeongelea kazi ya mtu mmoja na kuna 379 others who are suffering, who have sold their land, who have sold their property penye wanaishi.
All right, Mercy. Hold in there. Hold there.
But that is your government for
you.
you.
Can't hear me well. Let me bring in Francis. Gaitho, what is your comment on all these issues of politicians stealing money, stealing loans, looting money all over? What do you think is the way forward here? What are we going to do as citizens? Because we cannot keep on talking, tweeting, writing, posting. We need action. We need to take action.
We need to take action, Americs. We are tired of this bullshit. We are tired of the garbage we are seeing everywhere. So let me tell you something weird I observed today. So after the Trump assassination attempt, then immediately I saw Elon Musk. Elon Musk said that he has endorsed Donald Trump for the presidency in light of the happenings of today. Now, I was like, can you imagine if a businessman in Kenya tried endorsing a candidate for president? What would happen? We have seen the repercussions. We have seen everything that happens in Kenya when you align with one individual or presidential candidate. It's become so bad that if you are involved in politics, you are socially and economically isolated. We saw during especially Uhuru's presidency, which was very vindictive, very toxic. Uhuru ensured that everyone was below him because he wanted to remain as the alpha and omega. And so we have to anchor our economic policies to transcend individual or personal party loyalties and whatever, so that we don't have a situation where we have one singular individual whose only ambition in life is to ensuring everyone else falls so that he can remain on top. That was one thing I noticed. I was just trying to juxtapose what was happening there to here. But then we come to why we are in the situation we are in, who is influencing our policies, who is deliberately crafting our downfall, who is making sure that we remain poor, we remain an oppressed people. Number one, I can always say it's the opportunists, the people who have profited from our misery, our collective misery. Is number one is the foreigners. Personally, I like calling them, please pardon me for my French, I like calling them Muzungu pieces of shit. Not the entire race, but the ones who are narcissistic enough to be able or to craft the ideology that only them should prosper and the rest should be below them. So we've been talking about capital flight, and one of our biggest problem in Kenya is that, and they have hoodwinked us. For instance, I started hearing of something called the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, since the 80s and then or the 90s and the 2000s, and they made it look like access for our products to the American market is a privilege. Yet we are good designers, yet we have the raw material, yet we have the expertise to, for instance, when you go to America, you go to one of the Woolworths or whatever stores, you go Walmart, I don't think they have Woolworths, but you go to Walmart and whatnot, you're going to see jeans, you're going to see clothes which are written made in Kenya. So they've been made in our EPZ factories here in Athi River and whatnot. and they go there just to be labeled, just to be put a brand, if it's Levi Strauss and whatnot, and yet the same can get into the local market. But then they erect entry barriers. They erect entry barriers for even local entrepreneurs, so that our products, which are made with our cotton and with our labor and with our resources, can access a foreign market, and we cannot get the same quality here. So it's almost like we are beneath them. It's almost like it's been institutionalized. It's almost like the bureaucratic pieces of shit who work in KRA, who work in Treasury, are conspiring with these foreigners to ensure that we remain as oppressed people. You look at our coffee. Our coffee is diminishing in our production, but the best of our coffee is taken outside the country, and then they go and take just a fraction of it, 10%, and then they mix it with 90% of Brazilian coffee, and then it is imported here as Nescafe, and you idiots are here, you are celebrating that you are drinking coffee, yet it is 10% of the same coffee that your parents and grandparents are growing in their farms. You understand? So we've been deliberately put in this state, and then they come and scaremonger you and tell you, build and fashion all these narratives about stability and economic prosperity, but it is them who are prosperous. Us, we are remaining here consuming third-rate products, while we have the capacity to build. And one thing we should be focusing on is domestic consumption, value addition, so that when we are exporting something, we are not exporting to a go down in Dubai so that it can be value added and packed and branded. We can do all of that here and create those jobs, so that we sell to these Muzungu pieces of shit at the same value, at the same marked up value that they would buy from somebody else. And that is what farmers in Latin America are doing. So it is, and that contempt continues spreading to how we approach our immigration. For instance, in Kenya, any foreigner can land in JKIA and get a visa on arrival. But us, we go to the US Embassy, you are queued there. They make us go through hoops. They take our application fees. They don't even refund. Which is why I was saying the other place we should be occupying is occupying US Embassy. Because how do they charge $200 for an application where they already have a quota, where they know we are going to allow these ones? They already have a quota. So today they say we are only allowing 20 or 30. So everyone there, you are just going as a formality, because they have pre-decided and predetermined who is going to get a visa and who is not going to. And then we have seen this Meg Whitman. She has insinuated herself so much in our policy making. She's taking selfies. She's doing a lot of PDA with Ruto. And I'm saying, who the fuck does she think she is? She's just a mere diplomat brought here to serve a purpose. She's supposed to be neutral. She is not even hiding that she's pro this faction of the political divide. She doesn't care about Kenyans. She's here serving commercial interests. And we as Kenyans are supposed to clap for her, because Ruto held an umbrella for her. That is the highest form of contempt. We are here because of colonialism. These are the offshoots of colonialism in the 60s and the 70s, and we still find ourselves in the age of the Aquarius. We are still complying with such nonsensical PR stunts. So if we are saying occupy everywhere, we also include occupy US Embassy, because number one, they have enabled this rogue regime. They have facilitated all these things you're seeing, the murders and the genocide and the massacres in Githurai and Rongai. But over and above that, they have implemented, because we have a weak Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have implemented some immigration policy where Kenyans are made to feel as if we are going to beg for visas. You should make those decisions earlier, so that if you're not going to give somebody a visa, you're going to refund 75% of the educational or of the applicational fees. And I think everyone, we are on board with that.